That is, I think, for the Jaguars, one of the biggest and most significant wins they've had in a long time.
I think especially the way the game went. I think for them, you're playing against Kansas City. You're playing against this team that, 3 weeks ago, I think everyone was signing up like, hey, let's go play Kansas City now rather than when Worthy comes back and then Rashee Rice comes back. So now you get them with Worthy. You get them coming off of this huge game against Baltimore. Kansas City's back. And then the game doesn't start the way that you would have liked it to start. Kansas City goes down there and scores. You're driving back to try to put points on the board. Lawrence fumbles on 4th down, trying to go over the top on a QB sneak. Kansas City goes and scores, and now you look up and you're down 14-zip. And for everyone that when you watch games, like this is what coaches preach on. We got to get off to a good start. We got to get off to a fast start. What does that mean? It means not being down 14-zip. It means going out there and trying to score first, whether a field goal or a touchdown. And when you go down 14-zip, it usually goes against whoever the coach is. It goes against what they preached all week. So that to me was very important for Jacksonville, not only to win this game, but to kind of weather that storm and say, hey, like we're a good football team. We'll be okay, because those are those character building type of moments when you can look at each person in that huddle and that circle and say, hey, we're a good football team. We'll come back. We'll be all right. Not every team can do that. So credit to Jacksonville, Liam Cohen, and a lot of credit goes to Trevor Lawrence. And it was exactly what Liam Cohen said. It's not the prettiest thing, but we got to win. And that to me was Trevor Lawrence last night.
I mean, it's the biggest win for the team since the playoff victory over the Chargers when they were down bad and came back and pulled off the victory. And then they went to Kansas City the following weekend and actually performed well against the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes suffered the ankle injury that day. They kept the game interesting, even though at the end of the day, the Chiefs just kind of muscled their way past them. That's what felt like was going to happen last night. The Chiefs would just inevitably muscle their way past them. And I think that is the most telling aspect of what we saw last night. That's the kind of game we've seen the Chiefs win over and over and over again. They're up 14-0. They blow the lead. That's fine. It'll be fine. They're driving down the field. It's going to be 21-14. Bing, bang, boom. Oh, there's Patrick Mahomes. Quick little timing pattern. Middle. Oh, wait, Devin Lloyd. Devin effing Lloyd. There he goes the other way. 14-point swing. So just when it felt like the Chiefs had found the gas pedal again and they were going to maybe go up 28-14, who knows? But, they play with their food. That's what they've always done. Up 14-0. All right, they're back in it. But now, daddy's home. And Patrick Mahomes is going to put the Chiefs ahead for good. And then that was the lightning strike the other way. Devin Lloyd taking it the distance, longest touchdown return of an interception in Jaguars franchise history. Just an electric moment. And then even after that, this is where I got to give the Jaguars credit. They didn't fold. They didn't collapse. Trevor Lawrence throws the interception after an interference non-call. I want to get your take on that in a second, but it's 21-21. And they still, the Jaguars did, they didn't fold. They didn't give in. They didn't give up. They kept coming. And that to me is against what we thought of both teams. I didn't think the Jaguars were a team that would keep taking those punches and keep coming, keep, making mistakes and forget about them and go forward. And the Chiefs are a team that just, we've all become very accustomed to. They find a way to win. And that's a game that we've seen them win many, many times the last 7 seasons.
Yeah, you just hit on two huge plays. Obviously, we just watched the Devin Lloyd interception. And listening to Patrick Mahomes talk about that interception after the game, a ton of credit goes to Anthony Campanelli, because when I watched that play, Campanelli was in Miami, Brian Flores, that was a call that we used to run. They're in what's called a blitz zero, where you're sending more guys in it that they can protect. But what you do is the linebackers have to look at the center and see which side he comes to. And you can see Devin Lloyd's in the blitz. He's coming. And I think a lot of people think his job is just to draw the block and drop. No, he's coming until he reads that center come his way. Now he wants to get the guy to block him. As soon as he blocks him, he knows I can get out because somebody else is free. And what I love is Mahomes said, I've watched them run blitz zero on the goal line in the low red area, and they haven't had pop-outs. They haven't had guys do that. So credit to Campanelli this week coming in and saying, we have to pop guys out because Mahomes sees that we haven't done this, and we gave up a touchdown earlier this year on it. So to self-scout and to put that little, we've talked about it, when you can put new plays in on offense, it goes on the other side. You can add something to your defensive call. Game-changing play by Devin Lloyd. And I have to say for the Chiefs, you have a good defense. Get the guy on the ground. Mahomes dives at his legs. Tyquan Thornton, great effort to get back into play. Just make the tackle and see if your defense can hold him to 3 or maybe a turnover happens. That, to me, was the worst part of this play. Like, we get it, the quarterback's not going to be great at tackling, but, like, Kareem Hunt, got to get him down. Tyquan Thornton, you run from all the way back. Just tackle him. You just tackle him right here. Maybe it's on the 7 or 8 yard line. You get a defensive stop. Like when I was a defensive player, I'd be like, offense, just give us a chance. Give us a chance to go take the field. Don't just give up the touchdown. And then the last play you hit on was the non-call on the interference. And
hang on. Let's put a pin in that.
Okay.
Put a pin in that. Because I want to talk about this one a little bit more. Because I got a couple questions for you, and I'm going to forget them. So what did Lloyd do on that play that was different than what Mahomes expected him to do? Did Mahomes expect him to blitz and he didn't? Is that what it was?
Yes.
Is that simple?
Yep.
And they went against
he expected when they got up in that blitz zero.
That he was coming. He wasn't going to pop back.
Yes, some teams, when they run blitz zero, they just go. The 6 or 7 guys that are supposed to go, you just try to win. And other teams, when I was in New England, we had guys that instead of everyone trying to win, somebody's going to be free. They don't have enough to block you. They only have 5 or they only have 6. We're sending 6 or we're sending 7. So as soon as you draw that guy, that offensive lineman has your attention, now you can get back out. And Mahomes was saying, they didn't do that. They added that in. Maybe they did it not in the red zone at different times, but Mahomes said after the game, we didn't see that. So he said a credit to them of watching themselves and saying, if we don't fix this, we're going to give up a touchdown on it. And he thinks he has Juju Smith wide open. And when you watch the play, it's a good job on Mahomes. He gets to the line. He sees the look. He makes the check to the guys outside. They run the perfect play for it. It's just that one addition to the week where Devin Lloyd pops out and Devin Lloyd ends up making a play. I thought that was that was good football. That's what you try to do when we call out preparing a team starting on Wednesday all the way to Monday night. And that was, to me, a key play for Jacksonville.
So it's as simple as the blitz is designed to have one more defender than there are guys to block him. And when you see that your one offensive guy has committed, you don't need to try. The whole purpose of it is we want to spring a guy. And if one guy's focused on me, I know who it is. I can get out of here because it's too late for him to do anything about it. It's not, it evens up the numbers.
Exactly.
But the guy he would have blocked is already gone because he's committed to me. And now I can back out and maybe get lucky. And that's where preparation and opportunity come together. And it looks like luck, but they had a plan and it all fell together perfectly. And that did change everything. Okay. Then that's when it's 21-14. The Chiefs feeling desperate on that next drive. Too many balls down the field. Too many balls that didn't seem like they had a chance to connect. It's like they just wanted to snap their fingers and get it to 35-21. Punted. Jaguars have it. There's a collision between a Chiefs defender and a Jaguars receiver, the one who would have been cutting in to catch the pass. It gets intercepted. Trevor Lawrence is confused. They were pretty clear on the broadcast. They thought it was interference. To me, it looked inadvertent. And I mean, you got to be playing the ball, but two guys run into each other because the guy's trying to. I don't know. You're the expert at this. It looked to me like the Chiefs defender was trying to get to his man, and he just happened to run into the Jaguars receiver. Maybe that's textbook pass interference. I don't know. But it wasn't the usual type that we see where a guy's trying to cover someone and he hits him. This is just, I'm trying to get to my other guy. I'm trying to get the guy I'm supposed to cover, and I ran into this guy. Now, maybe he dropped the shoulder a little bit, but it's kind of like the flip side of a pick play. That's what it struck me as.
So that's what was interesting to me, because that's exactly what it was. It was a route combination where, hey, one guy's coming inside, the other guy's going outside. And I was always taught as a defender, it's your job to avoid that guy. Now, if the ball wasn't in the air, that to me is incidental contact. But with the ball being in the air, like you can't, like I can't just go cover my guy and run into a guy and take him out and just be like, oh, well, I didn't see him there. I'm trying to cover my guy. So that to me is pass interference, just the same way, right? The same way we watch some of these offensive play calls, and they might not be trying to run a pick play, but they run right into the defensive guy 10 yards down the field. We've seen more of those be called OPI. So I'm not gonna lie, I was shocked when they showed the replay that it wasn't pass interference, because you can't just decide, oh man, there's no other way to go. I'm gonna run through this guy. That's why they run those plays, because it makes you go around or it makes you go under to avoid hitting a guy, and then we either have a big play or this happens and we get a pass interference. So we saw this last year in the Dallas-Cincinnati Monday night game, a no call on the same exact route. And I don't know. I've always thought this was pass interference, but maybe it's not, and it's not going to be called. I'll be interested to see what the league says today about it.
Oh, they won't say anything. Most likely. Because you wait for the next bright, shiny object if you're the league. It's Thursday night. It's the Eagles and the Giants. Let's get to that. Let's not talk about any of this other stuff, because it was a rough weekend for officiating overall. I have a feeling Chris and I will spend a lot of time on Wednesday.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.